I wanted to make this quick video update of the Iron Man suit, and you guys seen this in the last video here, but I'm going to show you some extra things that I've done to it. So I put a plastic cover over the front here. I've got a whole bunch of these plastic sheets here. You can see how many I've got, and these are actually, they're pretty good plastic. You can see how thick that is, and you can cut these with a pair of scissors. So I can go in, and what I do is I just kind of stick it up to it and take a regular marker and just, you can see through it, just trace around with a marker and then just cut it out and you can put it on. So I've got them on both of these, on this one, and then I've got them over the fronts of these, but not down here yet. I've still got to fix that one right there, and I don't have them on any of the back pieces yet, so those I've still got to do. So that makes it look a lot better, and when it's off, it gives it that nice shiny mirrored look to it. It's got these little peel-off things so you can keep the actual plastic looking really good. And I kept the gray part, or the film, on the back of it so I can keep it dialed down a little bit, because without it, it was almost like just a big flashlight. These LEDs are super bright, so I kept that on the back so it would dial that LED down a little bit, and then took it off the front. Another thing that I did, if you're watching me on Instagram, is I put the eye parts in. So now my old Iron Man and my old Iron Patriot are going to get the same overhaul. I did my own eyes, and I'll just focus on the helmet here real quick and show you some really cool parts of the helmet. So I'm going to show you guys some pictures while I'm doing this. This one has a battery connector thing on it. I am going to be changing this out to a connector where it can connect to the rest of the suit and be powered by the batteries in the suit. They're a lot stronger than a 9-volt battery. So I only have this on here for now. But the way that I did this, I'll show you in the front. I did the same thing with the plastic, so you can see the shine of the plastic when you turn it on the outside. It's got a real nice plastic, or a real nice, looks like glass on it. But then on the inside, there was this, it's like a part of a curtain that you can see through, but it's like a piece of a curtain that I ended up taking in here, and I put that over the plastic covering here. And like I said, I'll show you guys some pictures so you guys can see it without all this stuff in there. I put the electrical tape over all this to see if it would focus the lights into the screen a little bit better, and it does. So I'm going to figure out a more permanent solution for that, but that's just kind of on there for now. The screen and the plastic are both put in with hot glue, and you can see LEDs down here at the bottom on either side, and then there's some LEDs up here at the top that you can't see because this padding is here, but you'll see the picture of it. I also have a blue LED here and a blue LED here that the wires are just kind of rolled up and put underneath this electrical tape, because I think when I get the suit done, I'm going to add some more blue LEDs down here. I just don't have, I want to make sure that I have the blue LEDs for the suit more, but I'm going to put some blue LEDs down here and then hook those all into one to make this light up a little bit more. So I've got I think 3 LEDs. So I think I got, both the middle ones are white, and then the outsides are just regular fluorescent light, or they're just, it's regular light, so it's not colored light. So the middle ones are white, and the outsides are just light, just like these are just light, like bright light. And then I have that all ran down here to a battery connection. I'm going to clean all this up more once I get the regular connection on here. and more padding and stuff all in here. So the padding here you can see in the top helps out tremendously. I did that. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I used koozies. So koozies make the perfect padding, and I have a ton of koozies. Since I'm in a band, BryceandMichaelBand.com if you guys want to check that out. Since I'm in a band, I have a bunch of koozies. I get koozies all the time when I go do shows at places and stuff. They give me free koozies and all sorts of stuff, so I have a ton of them. Perfect padding, and that's all put in with hot glue. So I have these hot glue sticks. The hot glue's not perfect, only because I have these hot glue sticks that I found in my garage. I don't know how old they are, but they don't fit in my hot glue gun. So I have to take a soldering gun and basically just push it to the glue stick and just let it drip down on, and it worked for the whole thing. And then once I get this cleaned up better, it'll look a whole lot better. But all those wires were ran to the top. I was going to run them along the back and down the back, but I think for now I'm just going to put them in the front, and then I'll probably run this up the side and then have the connector coming down from the side or something, I think is what I'll eventually do. But let me show you guys that lit up. So for now, all you do is plug in the 9-volt, and then now you can see it lit up, how it just lights up that screen. Now it's lit up on that. See, the 9-volt doesn't have very much power, so it's not going to light up that bright, but I think once it's plugged into the actual batteries of the suit, then it's going to light up so much brighter. And I'll show you the difference in the brightness on these compared to the brightness on the suit. So there is the eyes lit up. Let's light up the suit. And there is the difference. You can see just how bright the suit actually is. And that's with the screens, or the plastic pieces over the lights that have a film. It's like a whitish, dimmer film to it. Just how much brighter these are. So I'm going to turn out the lights and turn the light off on my camera just so I can show you guys that real quick. 1 second. There it is in the dark. That is cool. That is really cool. Now on the light without the light on my camera, and now with the light on my camera. So, yep, that's what it looks like. Looks really good. In fact, I don't know. I think that's just, see, you can see perfectly out of the eyes. I'm wondering if I do plug it into the actual battery down here, because this is a lithium battery, it's a more powerful battery. I'm wondering if I plug it into this here, if it'll make it so bright I can't see out of it, because I can see perfectly out of the eyes. No impairment, just really good. I'm just wondering if they get brighter, if I won't be able to see out of them. So that is a concern, but I'll figure that out. So let me show you some more of what I've done by looking down here. Let's go over to the thigh pieces first, and I'll show you guys pictures of me wearing the thigh pieces. So the print, actually, when you print these, the bottom part has a lot more to it that I had to Dremel off and shape this out so it could be worn. And then you can see where it kind of comes out a little bit here, because I had to heat form it by using a hair dryer and getting it melted enough to where it could be formed. That way it fit on my legs. Everybody's body's different shapes. So the actual print itself fit perfectly up here, but once it got to about this point here, it didn't fit all that well, and it actually hurt to put it on. So I had to cut these and heat form it, because I'm going to have to walk around in this, so I could not walk in the other one. So I had to cut these down, and I have some pictures of me wearing some Star Wars sleeping pants, and they're not the actual type of cloth that I'm going to be wearing underneath this, so they bunched up and things like that, so it's not a very good indication of it. but they were pretty thin, so it actually showed how it fit on and stuff. So I had to do a ton of work on the bottoms of these. I've painted them now since the last time that you guys have seen them. And also, if you turn this around, I had to cut out this section here. So on the print, it actually goes around right here, but I had to cut this down because both of these thigh pieces were so close together. They were rubbing together when wearing them, and this just makes me more mobile. And you can't see it anyways because the cod piece comes down far enough that nobody, I don't think, is going to be staring between my legs to see this little section here. It still looks perfectly fine from the front, and that cod piece actually goes down far enough that it looks really good. So if I were to suggest anything, anybody who builds this, that part needs to be cut out. This is a really cool showing of what it looks like on the inside. How I put these together, though, you can see all the different printed pieces, and then I use glue and baking soda to glue the initial pieces together, and then I take PLA and then I melt it on into the cracks and creases, and then I do it on the inside and on the outside, so I can make it stronger. This is about the strongest you can get it. And remember, this suit isn't big and bulky like all the rest of the Iron Man suits. It is supposed to be a slim suit. So I wanted to make sure that these weren't big and bulky and too gigantic. So this is right against, I mean, it's just about a perfect fit. So there's a lot of pressure in it whenever I do walk and your muscles flex. It does put quite a bit of strain and pressure on this piece. So it has to have that extra hold, but they look good. They look really good. I did a little bit of the painting, most of it to the original, but there are some pieces on here that aren't close to the original, so I had to kind of do my own thing to it, but it looks really good. Let's see all the way around it. I like it. Didn't spend as much time on these as I've spent on the rest of the suit and the rest of the suit pieces, only because I'm still unsure if I'm going to go back. I think I'm going to wear these because of the time crunch. I want to get this suit done by the time Endgame comes out so I can wear this to the movies. So I think I have to use these thigh pieces because it would just take too long to reprint these in TPU. So I'm not going to spend too much time. I'm going to make it look good, so whenever I go out for about the 10 minutes that I'm going to be wearing it, it'll look really good. But then I'm going to go back, after I build the Stormtrooper, I'm going to go back and redo these in TPU. That way it's just a little bit more comfortable, and I can keep the bottom part on because it'll stretch out and be a lot more pliable and comfortable. So that's the plan on these. I want to redo these in TPU, and I want to redo the biceps in TPU. And I want to redo this back piece here in TPU and the bottom part of the abs in TPU. So those are all pieces that are going to get redone. So I don't want to spend too much time. I do want to make them look good, and I think they look good. But they're just, you can tell on pieces like here, how it's not perfectly smooth like I typically get it. It's just not how I typically do it, just because I want to get it good, looking good, but it's just not going to look perfect right now. So, since I'm going to be spending so much time on the TPU, and the TPUs take so much more time to do, not only to print, but to post the stuff that you have to do in post. It takes so much longer to do, and I'll show you some of that right now. And first I'm going to start out with, this is the ankle piece in TPU. You can see how it's hard. This is what a typical piece would look like. I wanted to print it just to see if it would work, and it doesn't. I had to, for one, you can see here, I had to cut all this top part out just so it would, I mean, my leg fit in and did fine, but this was so tight against the top part of my knee, it sucked. So I rebuilt it in TPU. Good thing that has a finish on it. So here's the ankle piece in TPU. It's flexible, so more pliable, fits really well. It's completely flexible, and you can see just how smooth this is. That is thanks to Nico Industries and coming up with a smoothing TPU video using Alex Flex, and that's what I used on here, and it worked perfectly. You can see just how good this piece looks. I'm very impressed by it. It's very, very comfortable. You guys that are following me on Instagram will know that I've posted on Instagram, on Facebook, while posting along with the wearing the suit, how uncomfortable this suit is. I mean, it's probably the most uncomfortable thing I've ever worn, and lucky enough with the TPU, it's super comfortable because it's basically like wearing rubber, and it's so comfortable. The ankles are amazing. In fact, I would say if you've got a good printer that prints TPU, and it may take a lot more time, but print as many pieces in TPU as you possibly can, because you can, like you can see on here, you can smooth it and you can make it look good. So do it. So I've only got one ankle done. This took an entire week just to print, and then another week just to get smoothed, and I'm actually in the process of printing the other one right now. You can hear the printer going on in the background. It takes so long to do. I mean, there's a middle section right here that took 2 days to print. So I mean, it takes a long time to print, and you don't always get good prints. But with the Alex Flex, thankful enough, even the bad prints, you can see in here just how bad some of those pieces were printed, even at slow rates. The Anycubic's not the greatest at printing TPU. So I dealt with what I had. I didn't use any glue or anything on the TPU. I actually connected all the TPU together by melting the pieces. So these are all melted together and then smoothed out using Alex Flex, and they just did an amazing job, because I don't know of a good, this is pulled over my leg, and like I said, the suit's slim, so this gets pulled over my leg. There's a lot of pressure in it. It's actually pretty tough to pull this over my leg. So I didn't know any adhesive that would be flexible and strong enough to hold the amount of pressure that goes inside of this thing. So that's why I melted the pieces together, and it turned out fine. You can't really tell where the pieces are melted together or anything. So there's a finish on the wrist part here, but I do want to redo these pieces. You can see that they fell over several times and they've got scratches on them, so I got to go do a bunch of touch-up. But I want to redo these in TPU because they have a point on the end here that goes down in to the wrist point there, and with it being hard plastic, you can't bend your wrist if you have that. So I had to cut it off for now for the purposes of wearing it, and I think I want to redo both of these pieces in TPU so they can be more flexible, and I can keep that point on it, because now that I can print flexible pieces, I'll be able to actually flex my arm while having that. So TPU, I'm just so amazed by how it turned out. It's such a great piece, and like I said, I'll show you pictures of me wearing this ankle along with those thighs, so you can see how it looks. And remember I'm wearing the sleeping pants that are super thin, but they wouldn't come down. That shows how much pressure is, how tight these are, because they just bunched all up here in the knee part in the pictures. So you can see over here it's all bunched up in here because it's just my ankle through here. But I'm not going to be wearing stuff like that when I wear the costume. I'm actually going to be making an undersuit along with it. And I'm going to put Green Man on because I've got a Green Man costume. It's just a morph suit. And I'm going to put the whole thing on when I get done with the other ankle. And I'm printing the shoes and gloves and the knee part. When I'm printing all that, I'm going to put the whole suit on with Green Man on, just so I can see the green that pierces through, you know, because green and red are opposites. They're contrasting colors. And so I can see what parts are visible and what parts aren't. So I know later, whenever I'm making the undersuit, which parts need what color and where, you know. Looks really good. Looks really, really, really good. Not as good as, say, I were to make it in PLA. I definitely could have done a way better job in PLA, but for being TPU, it looks really, really good. I have started making this. I'm not going to put it on right now. I'll show you guys in the suit up thing. I just want to make you aware of it right now. But this is like an inside overall slash oh, I don't know what to call it, but the arm pieces are going to connect here to this, and the thigh pieces will connect down here to this. So this basically just goes around my torso, and pieces are going to connect to it, and then I've got some other stuff that I want to put to it, like some padding, so I don't have to put the padding on the inside of the suit, because there's so much wires on the inside of the suit that if I put the padding on, then I'm going to have to rip out the padding if one of the wires becomes, you know, a problem happens with the wiring or something, or if I have to wire more stuff up. So I want to actually attach the padding to this. So I'm going to put the undersuit on, and then this will go over the undersuit, and then the biceps will attach to these. They'll clip on and attach to these so they don't slide down, and the thighs will attach to these so they don't slide down. So it's just an inside thing made out of that nylon strapping and clips. And all you got to do instead of sewing them is you basically just take the end here that it's frayed, and then you put like the clip on right here, and then you would just take this, and what I do is just hold it like that, and then I take a lighter and light it until it starts a little bit of a flame, catches onto it, and then I just put it onto a solid surface, flatten it out, and then put something over the top of it like a Bic lighter, because it doesn't stick to this plastic. Just push it down real hard, and then once you let up, then you have it connection pieces like that it's melted together, so you don't have to sew it. This strapping's pretty good. It's pretty cool like that. So, and then you can see on this other side how it's shinier in the connection piece because it's melted that a little bit too. So anyways, that's a little quick update for the Iron Man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, seeing the TPU ankles for the first time on YouTube and stuff. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, make sure that you go over to Instagram, because I do updates on Instagram, and you guys will be seeing on Instagram the entire process as it's happening for the next TPU ankle. And I'm going to be making a full video of using the Alex Flex and smoothing out post-production of TPU cosplay props and stuff. So anyways, my name is Bryce Michael RC. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. We'll see you guys later. Have a good one.